This is VFL Weekly Wrap. This is a preview for round 17 of the VFL. There are 9 games. 3 teams have the bye. Richmond, Sandringham, Southport. Now there's a game on Friday. It's at Windy Hill, Essendon GWS. Essendon just can't win a game at the moment. And GWS, well, they're up and down, but somehow they're in 4th spot. They got belted at home last week to Geelong, so this Friday game at 2:05 p.m. at Windy Hill, I don't think it's going to get shifted a hanger. Thank God for that. Worst ground in Victoria. Worst ground I've ever been to. So that will be at Windy Hill. I think this could be a competitive game. I know Essendon's got injuries, but they are a completely different team at Windy Hill. I'll be going to this game for sure. I think GWS will just have enough for them. But it could be an ugly contest. Essendon have only won 3 games for the year, so they're struggling. Now, games on Saturday at 12 at midday at Tramway Oval, Sydney, North Melbourne. North Melbourne need to win this to give themselves a chance. They're in bad form, and they also had the bye last week. Sydney's only won 2 games this year, so I'm tipping North Melbourne, but I'm not confident in that tip. They need to win this game, North. If they lose this game, I can't see them making finals. Also, midday on Saturday, Port Melbourne against Gold Coast Suns. This game's at North Port Oval. Well, Port Melbourne been abysmal this year. They've actually been abysmal at home. They just can't win there and kick a good score. The Suns, they've had a frustrating year. Suns' form hasn't been too bad. Port Melbourne, they just can't win now. But having said that, I think they'll turn around Port Melbourne. I think they can get Gold Coast this time. They'll have something to prove. They want to give their fans something to cheer about. I think they might win that. Also on Saturday, 12:30 in the afternoon, Brighton Homes Arena in Ipswich, Brisbane Footscray. This is a top 4 battle. Brisbane have lost a couple of plays through the concussion. Footscray, very settled team. That's a hard game to pick again. I think Footscray might get him, but I think this might be a high-scoring game. That's going to be an interesting match. Now, a Saturday night game at Whitten Oval, Geelong Collingwood. It's a Geelong home game at 7:10 p.m. It's a TV game. Geelong had a very good win last week against GWS away, won by 50 points. Collingwood, they just keep winning. The last 5 games Collingwood have played have been decided by under 10 points. Incredible. Mate, this is hard to pick. This is very, very difficult to pick this game right now. You know what? I'll go Collingwood by under 10 points. That could definitely go either way. This match has serious ramifications on who's going to play finals and who's going to finish where. If Geelong win, they can still sneak in. They lose, they're done. There's no doubt about it. Collingwood have to win this to keep their top 4, top 6 alive. Now, there are 4 games on Sunday. Amazing. Can't believe that. A few weeks they have bugger all Sunday games, and all of a sudden they got 4. And I can only go to 1. And the one I'm going to go to will be at Coburg City Oval, between Coburg and Werribee. 1 o'clock Sunday. Well, Werribee's got the wood on Coburg, but I watched Werribee last week. They were pathetic. I've never seen Werribee play that bad in my life. They've lost too many players. They can't make finals. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They haven't won since the 1st of June. They've got nothing to play for. And one of their better players, Mullawal, who was destined to play his 100th game this week, he's out with a facial injury, so he's going to miss that game. So that's going to cripple him even more. Coburg, they've basically got a full side. They had fresh from the bye. Honestly, Coburg should be winning this game. They should win by at least. They should win by between 40 to 60 points. Werribee just unattractive to watch right now. They just packed it in last week. They checked out. It was embarrassing. Being on national TV and to put up that performance was pathetic. It wasn't good enough. I've never seen a team go from premiers to down there in 1 year. They have lost a lot of players, but they clearly, they're playing like it's last year. This is 2025. You got to attack, and they're not doing it. Coburg, on the other hand, they dare to dream. They have to win this, Coburg. If they can't beat Werribee in this game, they'll never beat Werribee. If they can't win this game on Sunday, they don't deserve finals. They have to win this game. Now, there's a game at Casey Fields at 1 o'clock. Casey Carlton. This should be an interesting game. Casey got a good win last week against Werribee. They need to win to stay in the top 10. Carlton have to win to stay alive. I think this will be a very close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Carlton win, but I think Casey will win in a close game. There's a game at Point Gellibrand, Williamstown Box Hill at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Mate, this is an interesting game. Unexpected loss for Williamstown last week at Preston. Box Hill are the top team, there's no doubt about it. They are the best team right now. Hey, this is the sort of game that Williamstown will turn up and win. I saw it firsthand last week. They were very poor in that last quarter at Preston City Oval, Kramer Street. I expect Williamstown to bounce back. This is the sort of game that they thrive on. They're playing the top team. They're playing at home. The conditions are really bad. It's going to play into their hands. I think they'll beat Box Hill. I think Box Hill are due for a loss. And they need to make top 4. Williamstown really need to get a scalp, and this could be it. The final game is an interesting one at 2 o'clock at Preston City Oval. The Bull Ants against Frankston Dolphins. Mate, a couple of weeks ago, I would have said Frankston will walk it in. But Preston, well, the Bull Ants, they've won the last 2. This is a real danger game for Frankston. You know what? I'm going all in. I think the Bull Ants will get them this time. I think they will. The weight, even though they were behind last week, I thought they played well against Williamstown. Frankston, well, it's my personal opinion. I don't think they're a fantastic team. They've had a good draw. If Frankston want to make finals and stay in that top 10, they have to win this game. If they lose this game, they got a horrible draw coming up. This is a real danger game. I think Preston, the Bull Ants, will get them. This is very intriguing. I just wish this game wasn't on the same time as Coburg Werribee. Once again, every time these teams play each other, they play them on the same day. Why? But that'll be an interesting game. Like I keep saying every week, make or break. It'll divide the pretenders from the contenders, I think. It should be an absolute beauty. See you next time.